welcome to my craft room. I'm so glad you're here today. Yeah, we are doing Pretty Pink Posh today, and I'm so excited because we've got a few things going on. In fact, I'm going to let you guys vote on which way we're going. Honestly, this week, last week, I have been just swamped, like seriously swamped, and trying to get stuff done before my son comes into town tonight. I'm so excited. He's coming in just for the weekend, a couple of days, and just trying to get everything done. And I did not have any time to prep, but I do have like 2 ideas in my head of where we can go today. But before we get there, let's talk about a few things. Number one, if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. You don't want to miss anything that we're doing here because we're having lots of fun all the time. And tomorrow I will have a 4th video for this week, including this live, which is a lot of inspiration for you. So if you're catching me on the replay, I would love it if you would subscribe too. Thanks for being here. You are important to this channel too. And if you have not already, I would love it if you would hit that thumbs up button. Whether you're watching on the replay, watching live, I love to hear from you. I love it when you guys chat. I love it when you ask me questions. I love it when you leave comments. So I love it all. What can I say? Also, to my fellow nurses out there, I know I have a few of you that watch. I am a nurse. I'm a pediatric nurse at the local hospital here. Happy Nurses Week. It's Nurses Week. Can you believe that? So did I celebrate? No. I was actually at the hospital on Nurses Day, which was Tuesday, but they give us a whole week, but then there's like the actual day, you know how that goes. Anyway, happy Nurses Week to all of the nurses out there. Thanks for all you do. And yeah, it's a special time. Also, Mother's Day weekend's coming up this weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all of you. And my heart goes out to all of you who are missing your mamas on this weekend. And for those of you who mother in other ways, not all of us have natural children, but I do believe all of us are called to mother in some way. So happy Mother's Day to all the women out there. Finally, I do have a giveaway. I'm going to give away a $50 Pretty Pink Posh gift card code, digital gift card code. You just need to go into the YouTube description below to fill out the Google form. Here's a couple of things. You have to be 18 or older to enter. So be 18, be an adult. And number 2, I'm giving it away live. So if you're watching on the replay, I'm sorry that you're not eligible. But for those of you watching live, I'm going to give it away live. You have to be present to win. So go ahead, go over, fill out that Google form. It's just a couple of questions. Should be easy to fill out there. Carrie says her sister and grandmother were nurses. Nurses are very underappreciated. Well, I feel appreciated by all of you guys out there. So that makes up for everything. Let's go down to the desktop, shall we? And let's talk about a couple of options we have, and then we'll start our poll, and you guys can tell me what you would like to see me do today. Here's a look at the desktop here. And I pulled out, these are all brand new from the Pretty Pink Posh May 2025 release. And I do have a pre-recorded video on my YouTube channel from yesterday featuring this little Hummingbird floral set, as well as the Floral Wreath Builder die set. I combined those together, and I did use the Scallops Pierce plate too. Look at all these nurses out there. Anyway, I've used those, but that doesn't mean to say we can't pull these in on our project today. In fact, I probably will pull in the Floral Wreath Builder. Mandy forgot about the live, but if you have your notifications turned on, if you subscribe and then hit that bell, it will tell you every time I go live and every time I post a video. So make sure if you have not turned on the notifications, you do that. Here's my 2 options for today. I'm going to walk you through them, and then I'm going to start the poll. So the first option is to create a shaker card using the Teacup shaker die set. Isn't this adorable? So the window would be this opening here, and we would have some sparkly bits right there in the center, all the shaker guts, or we could use this stamp set here and create a multiple colored cups and kind of stack them either up on the card or across the card. So we can do that. So the options, I'm going to start the poll here. The options are, oh, I hate this program when it does that. Teacup shaker or multicolored Oh, that doesn't say multi. It says multicolored teacup stamps. So I'm going to start the poll, and you'll be able to find the poll at the top of the chat, and then you can vote, and then I'll end it here in just a few minutes when we figure out where we're going. I have a feeling what you guys are going to vote for, but let me know. Either way, we'll probably pull in something from this product suite. I have a couple more things over here that I didn't pull in, but this is what I'm going to kind of limit it to. Now, for our color combo, it is my favorite spring color combo for this year. Yes, it is. We're bringing it back. I used it in yesterday's card. I thought we would use it again. Love this combination. So this is Orchid and Mulberry. These are from Spellbinders cardstocks. Then we have Grapefruit, Nectar, Lemongrass, Juniper, and Tide Pool, all from Concord and 9th. So I'm going to be using that color palette to create today. Let's see how our pull is going over here. I knew you guys were going to go this way. So far, Teacup Shaker card is winning by about 50% more than the multicolored cups. So let's see. I'm going to give you just another moment to answer that, and then we'll start going. Jennifer says she loves this color combo. I do too, and I'm not usually a purple girl, but these purples are purples I can totally get on board with. Now, here's something that I feel like people will ask me. Let's see. Here's Briar Rose compared to the Orchid from Spellbinders. So you can see it's a little brighter. And here's Plumberry. Now you could make a very similar color combo with Concord and 9th, but these are just a little bit brighter and I love these. Thank you. Chris says happy Nurses Week to you and teacher to your hubby. Oh yeah, is it Teachers Week too? We don't even know around here. Carrie says to do whatever I want to do today. Well, I want to do whatever you guys want to do. Does that sound like when you're trying to decide where to go to dinner? Okay, I'm going to end the poll. It is 62% for the Teacup Shaker, which is the way I thought you guys would totally go. And so we're going to do that. So let's get started on that, and we'll talk you through a few things. I've kind of, in my brain, planned out a couple of things here. What I think we will do is, does Concord and 9th have a gold cardstock? Mandy asked, does Concord and 9th have a gold cardstock? They have a fabulous gold cardstock. It is called Matte Gold. So if you're looking to pick up a great gold cardstock, yes, they do. Carmen's here from Georgia. Thanks for being here. If you're just popping in, there is a giveaway today. You have to be 18, you have to be present to win, and you have to go over to enter on the Google form and fill that out. So we're going to do a shaker, and I'm going to start with the 2 pieces of the Teacup Shaker die. So that has the outline. So if you just cut this on its own, this would be just a solid teacup, and you could totally use it as it is. If you use the inlay portion, then you can create a shaker window out of it. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and lay it in here, and I might die cut a couple layers of this. The other thing that you can do is you can create a standalone shaker with this, or you can create a shaker window on the card and lay this over the window. So if you don't know what I mean, give me just a second and I'll try to explain that. So actually, here, you could cut this in your card front and then cut both of them together and overlay this as a shaker, or you can just cut this and then cut a solid piece for the backer, and then it would be a standalone that you could use on a tag or even just attach it to a gift or something like that. What I might do, I'm thinking about possibly making this for my mom's Mother's Day card. I actually have a Mother's Day card for her that I've been saving for quite some time, but I may just make this. She loves purples because it makes her think of my grandmother, who is no longer with us, and I know that she would enjoy this color palette. So I'm going to start. I've attached both of those dies together so that I can cut them in the same configuration a couple of times. So I'm going to run this through on Tide Pool cardstock. LaDonna, thanks for being here today. I'm live today because my son is coming into town tonight and I didn't want to be live while he was here in town. So I rescheduled my live this week to be here with you all today on Thursday instead of Friday. I know Fridays are my normal live, but just keep in mind, I do have a pre-recorded video for you tomorrow, but I will not be live tomorrow. So I'm having to adjust things around as my schedule, fits. I try to keep it on Fridays as much as possible, but sometimes that's just not possible. So here is my little teacup with the outline. I'm going to cut a couple more of these out of a heavyweight white cardstock. Madge says, no accident that Teachers Week and Nurses Week are at the same time. I feel like that's a little bit of a ripoff, like they're trying to lessen one or the other. Most nurturing and professions, shout out to my fellow educators. Yes, shout out to the teachers out there. You guys do hard work, and honestly, even though I work with children, I can't imagine being a teacher. So I love teaching adults. I really do. Teaching is something I very much enjoy doing. I enjoy doing it here on YouTube. I enjoy doing it at my church. Love teaching, but to corral 30 to 40 kids at a time while you're trying to actually impart some knowledge and wisdom sounds like not my cup of tea. No pun intended, but that was just a natural little pun there. My husband is a high school math teacher, and so that's a whole nother special situation there, right? Family first. Yeah, I definitely wanted to be around. My son lives in Oklahoma, for those of you who don't know. If you've been around here a while, you probably already knew that, but my son lives in Oklahoma, and I don't want to be tied up while he's here. I want to spend the couple days that I have spending time with him. We are actually going to get pedicures tomorrow morning. I need my nails done really bad. I'm going to get my nails and my toes done. He's going to get his toes done. We actually do this together quite often. Like if I go to Oklahoma to see him and it's just me and him will often go and get pedicures together. And so it's kind of just something fun we do. He doesn't get toenail polish, but Also, we have a wedding we're going to this weekend over at the California coast. So a couple hours drive for us. And we're going to do that. Now, the reason that I have attached these two dies together is because as I cut these will all be in the exact same place. So then I can kind of stack up my teacup and make it a little more substantial. So that's why I have adhered the two pieces together so that as I cut them over and over again, you'll end up with the exact same shape, not kind of guessing where the window will be. Kathy says, not to worry, we appreciate all your lives. Enjoy your time with your son. Well, thank you. So he will be here for Mother's Day weekend, which is very special as well. We have plans on Sunday. We'll go to church at the early service. 8:30 is the early service. And after that, we have reservations at a restaurant to all go to eat together. So I'm just real excited about the weekend ahead. So I don't even know how many of these I want. I'm just cutting a bunch. I like things thick and chunky, So I'm just making things thick and chunky. All right. Thank you all for the compliments and what a cute mother and son tradition and date. Yes. Question, what is the yellow tape you are using on the dies? Carrie, this is called, it's from Spellbinders. It's called the Best Ever Craft Tape. You'll find it comes with the Better Press system, but you can buy it on its own. You can buy it in this 1/2 inch width. I think it's 5/8 maybe. 5/8 inch width, or you can buy it in a wider width as well. And so, yeah, it's a great repositionable tape. Daily Creations is here. I'm so glad you're here. Reminder, and I keep having to remind you all, but for those of you coming in at just a little bit late here, there is a giveaway today for a Pretty Pink Posh $50 YouTube digital gift card code. You have to be present to win, and you have to fill out the Google form. So make sure that you stick around here to see if you've won that. And I said you have to be 18, right? Okay, cool. So I think this is enough of the white version of the white, you know, layers that we can stack up here to make some, you know, dimension. I'm going to remove the dies, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I am going to die cut it from some acetate. Now, acetate can be a little tricky, right? It can. It just can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I am going to place the die onto my acetate. I really don't need the handle, so if the handle sticks off of my piece of acetate, I'm not really worried about that, but I will attach this just to make sure. I only need the part where the window is going to be. And I will place a piece of cardstock behind the acetate. This is going to give something for the die to kind of really like grip into. Does that make sense? Like if you try to cut the acetate on its own, chances are you're going to have a little bit of trouble like getting through the acetate. But if you put a piece of cardstock behind it, your odds increase, okay? Also, I'm going to add my metal shim to my die cutting sandwich, so we'll put all that on top. And because I find that when I'm cutting something like vellum, acetate, or a really intricate die on the Empress, it's better to cut into the clear cutting plate than the magnet. I'm going to cut into the magnet. So I'm going to run that through. Yes, so generous. Thank you so much. Thank you, Paulina, for helping out with that as well. So let's see. Did we win? Okay. Looks like I'm trying to see if we got all the way through. Nope, not all the way through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack this back up and I'm going to run it through one more time, and that should give us everything that we need, just at a different angle, okay? So if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Daily Creations, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. It says, I think your cards are amazing and always appreciate the inspiration. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're here. And my friend Julie just came in too. Okay, so we're running through again because if at first you don't succeed, try and try again, right? Okay. And looks like we got through this time. If not, we can finish it off. Nope, we totally got through. See my acetate? Perfect. Okay. So now we have that, and then let's die cut this from like a real, well, could we use this? We could totally use this. Didn't mean to use this, but we'll just use that as our backer for our standalone piece there. Okay, fabulous. We'll cut the tea tag and stuff here in just a bit. My daughter is coming home from college this weekend for Mother's Day, so excited. Awesome. I think Mandy was asking about gold cardstock, so let's go ahead and let's just use some today. This is the Concord and Ninth match gold cardstock, and we're going to die cut the little hanger for the tea tag here, and then we will the tag I want to die cut from a craft color cardstock. So let me grab that. I had some out, and it is my favorite craft cardstock because it's like the true paper bag craft, and this is from the Stamp Market. So Scott says, question from Kathy, looking for a true coral ink color, what do you recommend? Kathy, that's a hard question to answer because what I find is that everybody's perception of what coral is a little bit different. So I'm not really sure what to tell you on that because I do feel like corals can vary greatly in the amounts of red or orange that they have or pink that they have. So I really hesitate to tell you what coral is, because just like there's a ton of different colors of pinks, there are tons of different colors that lean orange, red, pink, which is what I would consider a coral. So I'm not really sure how to answer that, but maybe some of you in the chat would like to help our friend Kathy out. I just hate to lead you in a particular direction. Now, there are some colors that are called corals, like actual coral in the name. Yes, and I was just going to mention, Carrie mentioned it. Gina K Designs has a great sun-kissed coral, and the Stamp Market has one that's called something coral. Let me tell you what that is. Oh, no, I don't have that right there. I don't have the colors listed right there. But I believe there's a coral there. And so Gina K has inks that match her cardstock as well as the Stamp Market. So there's a couple of places that you can look, and I know they do their best online to try to like represent the colors as best they can. Keep in mind, it is, you know, a screen and everybody's screen varies, but that's what I would tell you. I hate to like send you in a specific direction, like, and tell you this is my favorite coral, because coral is just one of those things that just varies greatly in something that people do consider coral. So now we have our solid backer piece, we have our frame with our acetate, and then we have a few layers of the cup that we can build up. Now we can either build up the cup like this, or we can do it with foam adhesive. Either one will work great. Thank you. Kathy says thanks to all. So perfect. So let's start. It looks like Paulina from Pretty Pink Posh is here. Hello, Paulina. Thanks for joining us. I know you'll be in and out today, but we really appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to start assembling my shaker here. And in order to do this, I'm going to put some liquid glue around the edge of this opening. I can put a little bit on the handle as well, but I have to tell you, the handle is just there. On this acetate, we don't need it. Good to see you here, Pretty Pink Posh. Yes, it is good for Paulina to be here. Pretty Pink Posh. Are we 11 now, Paulina? Remind me, because I feel like I've been using your products from the beginning, from the outset of Pretty Pink Posh. I have always been a huge fan of sparkling clear whatever. I think it is such a great way to add sparkle to a card project without adding like another color in. So I've attached the acetate to the back of that cup, and then we're going to start stacking these up, okay? And then my goal is to, I have some leftover. We may have to cut a couple others, but I have some leftover from the cards that I made yesterday. All of these flowers were die cut using the Floral Wreath Builder. And so my idea is to put some of those around like the handle or at the top of our teacup. So I'm going to stack these up. I'm putting liquid glue on the top, and then I'm just going to stack them up. Now, because when I die cut these, I had those dies held together with that tape. All of these are going to be exactly the same die cut. If you are nestling that window into the teacup base every single time, you may not get it like exactly right. And so if you want to create multiple layers that line up exactly, do what I did and hold them together as you cut your various layers of cardstock. So as I mentioned, we can do it like this, or we can use some foam adhesive. So it's completely up to you what you want to do. Okay. Let's see, any questions out there? Alicia Johnson, AJ, she says, I'm a bit late, but I'm here. We're glad you're here. And for those of you coming in late, I hate that I keep saying this, but I don't want anybody to miss their chance to win. There is a giveaway today, so make sure you fill out the Google form. read the requirements there in the YouTube description. That's where you'll find everything you need to know. Farhana says, I came across you after I discovered Ellen Hudson, which I came across after winning a gift card from Pretty Pink Posh's blog. You know what? Those were the days. I miss Ellen. Ellen has retired. We still keep in touch, by the way, but she has since closed her shop, and they had a great product line there. And Pretty Pink Posh was one of the companies that Ellen Hudson carried. And I think she carried it from the get-go also. Cindy likes the stacked up die cuts because she doesn't like seeing foam adhesive from the side. That is a great point. If you stack up the die cuts, then you'll have a really clean look. You see that? So this was, I don't even remember. You guys tell me how many layers, 3, 5 layers maybe of that cardstock stacked together to create our kind of the well. I'm not sure if this is going to be thick enough. I maybe have needed a couple more, but I'm not real sure. I'm not sure. And now that I'm looking at this, I'm thinking that maybe I want the backer to not be white, but to be the same Tide Pool color. So I'm going to take this, and I'm not going to use the window die this time. I'm just going to use the solid teacup. So this is a couple ways. You don't have to use this as a shaker. If you buy it, there's multiple ways that you can use it. So you can use it as just a teacup, and you could even cut the little window piece from a separate color of cardstock and put it on top, or build it up to create a little dimension there. And that would be cute too. I didn't think of stacking die cuts to make a shaker. I just struggle with foam. Well, I mean, there's pros and cons to both, right? Obviously, this probably takes a little bit longer. It's got a little more cardstock. It might make it heavier, you know, that sort of thing. But you don't have to fuss with the foam. So it's kind of personal preference. I do it both ways depending on the day. I don't have like hard set on one. Solomon wants to know what brand has better ivory color. My favorite ivory cardstock is the Hero Arts Antique Ivory Cardstock. That's my favorite ivory cardstock. So I'm adding liquid glue to the back of this stacked up stack, and I'm going to lay it right over the top of my solid piece here. Now I'm going to move this block and put it over the top of this so that everything adheres nicely, and I'm just making sure that all of this is lined up. Trying to cut sticky foam into thin enough pieces is not fun. Stacking paper is so much easier. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I think that's a true and faithful saying, as we would say in our house. I'm not really sure. My friend Megan probably needs to help me with this teacup thing and how it's supposed to go. I think this is how we should go on the tag. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this together. So I have the little hanger, the little gold hanger through my craft tag, and I'm just going to flip it over because I have it where I like it, and I'm going to sneak my glue bottle underneath that and just adhere the hanger to the tag. And I think what we'll do is ooh, it came off. I think what we'll do is probably put just like a little heart on this in the end. So cute. Jen and Julie are talking, all set for Saturday. Yeah, you're right, Farhana. I hope I'm saying your name right. Farhana? I'm not sure. She does still release every now and then on Amazon some new things. And she does have a few of the older things in the shop there. Okay, so now that I have that tag, I'm going to go over the lip of my cup here, and I'm going to glue it into place there. And in order to keep this all kind of attached together as that liquid glue dries on the acetate, I'm just going to use a pair of crosslock or reverse grip tweezers to hold that down as the glue's kind of setting up. So Hopefully that makes sense. I'm wondering if I have enough of these without having, oh, I think I might. Oh, how cute is this gonna be? Okay, this is gonna be adorable. Now we have to figure out what we wanna put in the middle of this, or the guts of the shaker card. And my initial feeling is to go with sparkling clear confetti, because you can't go wrong with sparkling clear confetti. I have a few of these that Paulina sent me. And, oh, this is adorable, but it's not in my color scheme. How cute are these little clay pieces? The little flowers and leaves. Love that. Can you see those? Someone commented about my nails looking fabulous. They're a little grown out, which is why they need to be done. So that's the problem with my nails. This is kind of cute, but also not really the color scheme that we're using. Could look okay. I don't know. This has some purples in it, but it has that periwinkle color, and that's not really in it. But I think we'll do sparkling clear. I love these. I love these, but I think sparkling clear has my heart. Okay, so let's pull out some sparkling clear. I have some sparkling clear here, just a little. I have the one with holes and without holes, and we're going to use the one without holes because I think, and maybe Paulina, tell me, are they actually more shallow when they don't have the holes? I feel like maybe they are, but maybe it's my imagination, but maybe you know for sure. They feel like they're less dimensional when they are the confetti rather than the sequins. And both of these come in a mix, so they have different sizes, and I love to vary the sizes. I like when everything's like not the same size. I like a 3mm and a 4mm and a 6mm all together, you know? You know what I'm saying? Okay, I think it brings interest to the card. So we're gonna just do some of these in, just like this. Don't be shy, don't be stingy. Okay, I'm gonna shake them all down because I don't want them sitting on top of each other, because then they'll get caught between the base and the acetate. Paulina says that she thinks they're more shallow too. I do believe that they are. Anyway, you don't want, if they're stacked up, you don't want them to get caught between the base and the acetate and not move at all. So it reminds me of that song, When You Get Caught Between the Moon and New York City. That's a blast from the past. Speaking of blasts from the past, I was talking today in a voiceover about Kristi Yamaguchi. How many of you were Kristi Yamaguchi fans? I was a huge Kristi Yamaguchi fan. I used to go out in my driveway as a kid. We lived out in the country, so we had a rather large concrete pad driveway. And I used to skate in my pink wheeled roller skates. They were white with pink wheels. And I used to pretend that I was Kristi Yamaguchi. And I would take my ghetto blaster out there and play the music and dance around on my skates and pretend like I was Kristi Yamaguchi. And my mom used to call me Kristi Yamaguchi. Anyway, I loved Kristi Yamaguchi. Melissa Hinkle said I was a Nancy Kerrigan fan too. I was as well. Hey, Mindy. Hey, girl. Hey. How you doing? We're making a shaker. That's what everybody wanted. And truth be told, well, I kind of knew ahead of time that that's what they would want. And so, but I gave them an option, and that's what we are doing. So now that I have all of my guts inside of the well, I'm going to take and I'm going to add some liquid glue around the frame here of my shaker, making sure that everything is going to be sealed in there. I don't want to miss any gap. I don't want to have any gaps of adhesive. We're going to go all the way around and shake it, baby, shake it. You know, Mindy. Then once we have all of this out, or all of this glued, we're going to take the acetate piece. We're going to go right over the top. Someone said Michelle Kwan. Michelle Kwan was a little bit later, and Peggy Fleming was a little bit earlier. Mandy doesn't know who we're talking about. They are ice skaters, Mandy. So famous Olympic ice skaters. And then there was Tanya Harding, and there was a whole thing. I believe there's documentaries on that and all kinds of things. I'm just using my fingers to make sure that everything is lined up and pressed together. And then I'm going to take my big old block and I'm going to put it on top here. Allow that to set up. Now, while there's my Tara Lipinski. Yes, she was a little bit later, but those in my generation will know, like Nancy Kerrigan, Christy Yamaguchi. I still follow Christy Yamaguchi on social media. I mean, like, seriously. Thanks all for those who are joining here. I'm so glad that you are here. Even if you're on replay, if you're here live, I'm glad you're here. If you have not already, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here so you don't miss any of the paper crafting and video tutorials, card making video tutorials I share. And if you have not entered the giveaway, do that. There is a Google form. You have to be present to win. This block is old from Stampin' Up. That's where that block is from. Pink Paper and Things says, OMG, the tea bag is everything. How adorbs. How about Dorothy Hamill? Yeah. Wait, Dorothy Hamill. Christy's daughter is a skater too. Wasn't Dorothy Hamill a gymnast? I think Dorothy Hamill was a gymnast. Okay, I want a couple of these bigger flowers in the purples, and I've used them all. So this is what I have. I'm going to try to use what I have, but I'm going to make a couple purples out of this. And we went over our palette earlier, but this is our palette here. We're using purples and blues and greens, my favorite spring palette this year. Okay, so let's do a couple of these, and then we'll do a couple in the orchid color as well. Dorothy was a skater. Okay, very famous. Okay, but Mary Lou Retton, Melissa, had that haircut too. So it was just the time, you know, it was just cool then. Mary Lou Retton had that bowl haircut too. So, okay, so we have that, and we're going to go with the lighter purple. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad. Melissa Horn says, you mentioned Dorothy Hamill. My mom was a hairstylist, and she gave me that haircut when I was a kid. I'm glad my mom didn't do that. I was already struggling to be a cute kid, like in those in-between years, so it's fine. Hamill Camel, ice skater with the wedge haircut. I don't remember that. Don't remember that. Okay, so we have a couple of those, and then we have some oranges, so we'll see if we have enough. And by the way, these flowers are from the Floral Wreath Builder die set, which I've now used a couple of times, but I have not built a wreath with it. But you can see you have the base pieces for the wreath and then all the flowers that you can cut, and you can create a totally die cut wreath, which would be a lot of fun. But I think they make just great florals on their own. Wouldn't you agree? Okay, so let's see. I might have gotten a Dorothy Hamill haircut for 8th grade graduation in 1979. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Oh, look how cute that is. Oh my gosh. With a little heart on there, it's gonna be adorable. Okay, so now what I'm thinking is that we add some florals here, kind of towards the upper corner with some greenery coming off. And then we need to add a sentiment. And then that's pretty much going to be like, I mean, mostly our card, right? We may do something in the background, but I'm not sure what that would be. My assistant still has not made foam panels for me. She said she was going to do that today, and I think she's still sleeping. Oh, the Hamel Camel was her signature move. Yes, Mandy says you could make a wreath shaker, and that would be cute. Yes, you could. Absolutely. I'm just going to put some foam adhesive into the center of these. Libby's here. Hi, Libby. So glad you're here. Before I put these down, I'm just going to flip up the petals just a little bit with my fingers, just to give them some dimension. And then we will put this little guy here. And then we're going to take this. Carmen says, I love the pretty pink Posh floral wreath and hummingbird card that you made earlier this week. So pretty. Yes, that was yesterday. That's a pre-recorded video. So if you all want to check that out, it's on my YouTube channel now. Yes, Pink Paper and Things does know that my assistant is my daughter. And yes, she still has not made. I'm glad you're here too, Libby. Thanks for being here. It's always fun to see friends in the chat. Let's see. I'm just kind of, look, I'm winging it with what I have and what I need. And we're just going to mix up the greens here. I think we'll do like this guy coming out the top. How cute are we? We are stinking cute. We need to find a way to bring in some of the grapefruit and nectar, just a touch, I'm thinking, not a ton, but just make sure it's represented. Mindy Egan did one as well this week using the hummingbirds. I saw that. She did the hummingbird die cuts, if I'm not mistaken. She created with the stitched hummingbird die set, and she created a beautiful card with some ink blending on die cuts. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that's what I saw on my YouTube feed. Tell me if I'm wrong. Let's see. What if we stack up a couple of these to bring in both colors, but without taking up too much visual space? I like it. Then we get both represented, but we're not putting two flowers on there to represent. So I don't know that these were designed to be stacked, but that doesn't mean you can't stack them. Right? Am I right? Making dinner, but I have to get those sequins. Love it. Carrie says I'm correct about Mindy's card. I thought so. Okay, so here's the deal. I want the purple to be center stage. We talked a little bit about color theory last week, and here's why I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to talk it out loud so that you guys can kind of get a sense of what not only what I'm doing, but why I make the decisions that I make. I am going to tuck this flower underneath the purple. And the reason that I'm tucking underneath the purple is that I want the purple to remain like my focal color. And I just want that nectar grapefruit combo to be kind of more accent color. So I'm going to flip that under there just like that. Now we need some floral centers. So we're going to add some liquid glue to the center, and we could do a couple of things. You could do enamel dots, but all of these florals cut centers when they cut the cardstock. And so I'm going to just choose some floral centers from what we already have here. And I think we will do we have another one? No, I'm not necessarily doing the ones that were meant for each flower, like the size, but I think it works. I think it works. I'm not, oh, I don't like that on there. I don't like the purple center on the grapefruit. So we're going to just do another grapefruit one right there. If I have to die cut one, I will. I would prefer not to, but this one seems a little large. Seems a little large and in charge. Now, another thing I want to keep in mind is that when I'm adding my greens, do you see how I'm kind of juxtaposing them or putting them across from each other and spreading out the green? So I am not, I'm making sure that I'm not putting a bunch of the same green together, but rather kind of spreading it out over the card. And so I have a juniper here. So what I will probably do, small juniper. Do we have a small juniper? We do not. Calling small juniper. Okay, but we could put this like here. Okay, so someone said, I have a lot to learn about flower placement. You make it look so easy. So here's something I really think helps. And I know this seems dumb, but do you see how my fingers are out of the way because I'm using a pair of tweezers? It really helps you see the arrangement as you're putting it together. And I think that is perfect. We just need a center for that floral there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to grab the die. See how the center is a part of the die? We're going to grab some grapefruit. That just breaks my heart to use a 5.5 by 8.5 piece to cut just this little center. So we're going to grab some scrap here and we're going to cut it out of the scrap instead of like starting a whole new piece. We might as well cut a flower. I mean, we'll use that flower. Yeah, and this is the same color palette that I used in yesterday's card project. So it works for a variety of things. It was perfect for the hummingbirds and it's perfect for this as well. So we're going to put the liquid glue in the center and we're going to pick this guy up, stick it right in the center of my floral. And I love the stitching detail on these floral dies. I don't know if you can like tell from there, but there is stitching detail on all of the greenery, not these little vines, but all the little leaves and the florals that just, it gives it a finishing touch. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I think we're done with our florals. And I think we're done with our teacup. I need a heart. I may just have to dig one out somewhere. And what color do I want it? I probably want it in nectar. Nada's here. Hi, Nada. So glad you could make it. I'm going to look for a heart real quick, probably in just some random die set that I have down here that I can make work. I don't think that there are any in this Pretty Pink Posh release, so I'm just gonna grab one, or at least in the ones that I have. Oh, we are escaping. Okay. Oh, what is that? Okay. Oh my goodness, Nada, thank you. Thank you. You are so kind. Every time you're here, you are just so kind. Nada sent a super chat, so thank you, Nada. I feel like Nada's my biggest fan. Let's tuck that away. Actually, I probably shouldn't have tucked it away so I could put this die back. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut this heart from some Nectar cardstock. And I'm going to put it on the little T tag here. And then we need, oh, Roberta. Yes, I saw that there's a new pope. I'm not Catholic. So it's not something I follow a whole lot. But my husband texted me and said, it's the first ever American pope. And part of me wonders how the rest of the world feels about that. It'll be interesting to see the reaction. And I wonder if he speaks, because most popes speak like multiple languages. I'm wondering if he speaks multiple languages. Anyway, just some stuff that I wonder. Okay. How stinking cute is that? I wanted it kind of off like that, like off the side. And then I'm wondering if I should just put a piece of like foam adhesive under to keep that tag just bumped up a little. Bumped up. Denise is here. Denise C. Oh my goodness, Denise C. Are you Denise Castillo from my church? I'm wondering. Or is it a different Denise? Oh, Cindy says he does speak multiple languages. Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. Okay. He did very well in all languages. That's good. Okay. I just know that that's generally a consideration. Even though I'm not Catholic, I feel like that's generally a consideration for the Pope. He lived in Peru and Rome for many years. So is he from, I don't want to talk about this too much, but is he originally from the United States or just more recently? Help me with that and then we'll move on. So I'm thinking actually a simple white card base would be really beautiful for this. And Solomon was asking earlier, another option that might be really nice for this card base could be an ivory color. So we could just put this, you know, I'm just telling you, you could attach this to a card, to a gift, and look how cute that is. Like, enough on its own, right? Born in Chicago. Okay. Missionary to Peru. Perfect. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you all so much. I haven't been watching the news since about, I don't know, it's been a few months. For no particular reason other than, I enjoy the news, but for no particular reason other than to allow my mind some time to breathe and to focus on really praying and more things like that instead of like having like information in my mind, coming into my mind all the time. So that's why. Let's trim this down. And I'm going to trim this down to 3 3/4 inches. This is my favorite ivory cardstock. This is, what did I just do? 3 3/4, so that's a 1/2 inch by 5. Okay, this is the antique ivory, which is my favorite cream colored or ivory colored cardstock of all. I actually really enjoy the news. It doesn't stress me out or anything, but I felt like I needed to have some space from it. I don't like this. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm looking in the camera and I don't like it. But what we're going to do instead, I usually really like that ivory and white combination, but I'm not digging it today. And you know what could be fun? What about for my mom, enjoy your special day. We could die cut it. Is there a special day? They're separate. I love that. What if we did like a tone-on-tone stamping with this? Because these flowers look like these flowers. Let's try it with a light gray. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to wrap this up. I never last an hour. I always shoot for an hour. Never happens. But in a few minutes here, if I'm still going, we will choose a winner and then we'll finish up. So if you have not already entered the giveaway, make sure you do that. Yes, Hero Arts Antique Ivory. I'm not sure that it's listed below, but this could be a really cute, just tone on tone pattern. And we don't have to do anything super crazy or fabulous with it because we have our teacup that's going to lay over the top of it, but we may be able, oh look, you could build a total wreath with this. I'm going to do it. Look at that. I built a wreath and I didn't even mean to, and it's still not coming out enough. So we're going to go, the pattern is not enough to make a difference. So we're going to add a couple more there and there. Now, even if I don't use this, I feel like this could be inspiring for you to create a pattern with one of these floral stamps. Oh, that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. Here's what I don't think is cute. I missed part of this stamp here. So I'm going to very bravely come in and try to re-stamp what I messed up. Okay. Okay, well, that was a fail, but I feel like, nope, I'm going to redo it. Okay, I'm going to pick a winner. We've been going for an hour, so if you have not already, while I cut this down and start over with my floral pattern, go ahead and enter the giveaway. And I'm going to pick a winner here in just a moment. I'm going to start this over. I'm going to use this as a guide, okay? But I did cut it a little bit smaller so that there would be kind of a mat on my finished card project. Let's see. I'm just kind of trying to recreate a lot of what I already created here. But it's smaller, so it might be partially cut off. Yes, Daily Creations, thank you so much. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. It does help my video. Let's see where we're at. 44 responses. Only 44 of you have entered to win. So let's go to a random number between 1 and 44. Generate. 42. So we're going to go to response number 42. And I'm going to tell you who won. And, oh, I hope she's here. The winner is, are you all ready? It is Dawn Lee. Dawn Lee. L-E-E. So if you are here, make sure you shout out in the comments so that I know that you're here. And then what you can do, if I don't hear from Dawn in a couple of minutes, then I will pick a new winner. But Dawn, you'll email me. Go over to my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com. I have a contact me form. You can enter from or email me from the same email address that you entered with. I'll make sure that those match. And if those match, then we will get your Pretty Pink Posh digital gift card code over to you. $50. Congratulations. Mindy's an early riser. Is she? Mindy, are you an early riser? I know I am. 5:30 every day. Unless I'm working at the hospital, and then it's 4:30. Okay. So we're starting this pattern just like that. Kind of like swoosh, swooshy. Dawn is here. Yay. Okay. So you heard me, right, Dawn? Go over to my blog, sprinkledwithglitter.com. There's a contact me tab like somewhere along the top. Go ahead and email me from the email address that you entered to win the giveaway on the Google form, the one that you entered on the Google form, and then we will get that sent over to you. Okay, let's do the sentiment. We're going to do enjoy your special day. So we have the enjoy your and the special day, which I didn't realize that these were. What stamp set is this? So that flower was from the Hummingbird Floral, which I used in yesterday's card project here on my YouTube channel. So that's that floral there. This stamp for the special day is the Pretty Pink Posh Tea Time stamp set. Hold on, I need a piece of white cardstock, but it has to be like the stampy white cardstock, not just like any white cardstock. You know what I'm saying? There's the stampy ones, and then there's the ones you just use for die cuts. So, question, where do you enter? Oh, well, it's over now. In fact, I should just, let me see if I can take that off. It was in a Google form, Stephanie, so, but it's closed now because it was for the live stream only. Okay, we're gonna stack these two, special day. Do I want to stamp these in a color? 2:30? Oh, good grief. That is way early. Thinking some juniper. Let's try it. I'm not feeling that. I'm thinking. Mulberry ink on Mulberry cardstock. If we hate it, we can redo it, you know? I'm doing a lot of block stamping today. That just looks like black. I wonder how that's going to dry back. I didn't quite get my P stamped down. We'll cut it out. We'll see how we feel about it in the end. So now we have the special and the day die cuts. Dawn's up at 5:30 for work. Well, I mean, technically I'm up at 5:30 for work because I work from home a lot now. But on my hospital work days, the ones where I have to go to the job, I'm up at 4:30. So, okay, special day. I think this might be too much. I don't know. I might phone a friend here. I don't know that I love this. I don't know. I need to go back over to this window here so I can see it on screen. Helps me. Special day. Does it feel like too much purple? Help me out here. What color do we need to do this? I'm not real sure. We're going to leave those out just in case. And for now, I'm going to do an enjoy your on. Maybe we just do white. Help me out. Phone a friend. What color? What color? I do think it's very sweet that you get up with him to eat breakfast at 2:30. That is, you are acting in love, and no one can deny that. That is pure love. Enjoy your. I had to get over it. Stamp the purple on the white. I don't know. Maybe the lighter purple, maybe purple ink on a white background. I'm not feeling the purple ink. I'll try it, but I don't think it's going to be purple ink on the white background. I'll know immediately. I'll tell you that. Maybe I need to bring in the Tide Pool again. First of all, this purple is not the same as this purple, so I think it's not going to look. Yeah, it's like dark. It's too royal. No. It's not it. I'm going to try the Tide Pool. What's that? Some are wanting me to try the lighter purple cardstock with the Plumberry ink, and I just don't know that this Plumberry ink is the right choice. So let's try. Let's try this Briar Rose. I thought about embossing Solomon. That's not a bad plan. White on the color. I might like that more. Might make me like the purple more. Let's see what this does. This is Briar Rose. Pink Fresh Orchid ink. Is that lighter? I don't think it's quite right. I think this might be it. Yep, I like that. Let me do it one more time. I feel like it can do better. Make sure everything's inked. Okay. Okay. So this is Briar Rose on the Orchid, which is not pink, but it's the lighter of the two purples. And I think that that's maybe it. I think that's what we're going to do. Tide Pool on white would be pretty. I agree. There, you could go a lot of ways. You could do the Juniper on white. That would be really pretty as well. Let's get these lined up. We're going to cut them out. Eventually, we just have to make a decision. And sometimes I just go with things because I have decision fatigue. I do like the tone-on-tone flowers in the background. I think that was a fun little journey we went on there. Sometimes we go on journeys and that's just the way it is. You know? And I think we're gonna just kind of wrap these around each other and glue them together. Get a little bit of glue between them. Oh, shoot. This is kind of more difficult. And I'm gonna hold those together. Love that. Okay, this was it. This was the right. Anna Griffin ships from Atlanta, and now I'm very curious where her warehouse and whether or not I can visit. That's funny. Let's do this. I do know that Anna Griffin from my days of HSN does not fly to Florida to do her HSN appearances. She does them from her, she has her own little studio there that she does her home shopping network appearances from. So she like remotes in. She's not in the studio at HSN. Okay, we're just trimming this down, I am going to probably have to update the supply list afterwards. I just threw yesterday's supply list in there for now because it had all of the Pretty Pink Posh products that I could potentially use, and I'll probably just update that afterwards to make it a little more accurate. And we will probably just, I'm going to just do a line of liquid glue on the back of this and kind of tuck it up into the flowers. is what I'm thinking. Just like here-ish. And honestly, I'm going to say we are about an hour and 12 minutes in, but think about this. I had zero, other than a few of these flowers that were already cut like leftovers, no prep work. So, I mean, to create a card like this, I think we're doing pretty good on time. Okay, enjoy your special day. Don't want to cover up too much. So maybe we'll go here-ish. Okay, let's just commit. Roberta says she found out her machine isn't made anymore. If it's the Anna Griffin, like the standard Empress, those have been replaced per se with the Empress Elite. So I don't want to lose like our teacup look. Okay, we're covering a lot of the thing here, but we're gonna just do it right there. Dawn says I can rarely create a card in an hour. And I mean, this card has a lot going on. It's not like, you know, it's just, there's a lot going on. Okay, enjoy your special day. Love that. Okay, so you still get like the teacup handle there. We've added some space to allow the teacup to kind of shine through. And I like that. Okay, so what we can do is we can either add this on with some foam adhesive, which I'm not mad about. I like dimension. I like big cards, and I cannot lie. Do I need to sing it again? I like big cards, and I cannot lie. Okay, I don't want to get like, you know, copyrighted or whatever. Oh, it's the Couture Creations Go Power and Emboss, the brand Anna represented before her own machine. Oh, interesting. I didn't know about that. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you guys are liking this. Thank you all for being here. We're almost done, I promise. We're almost done. I'm not mad about a little extra dimension. Okay, so we're gonna take him, her, whatever. We're gonna add this here with the handle kind of coming off like, ugh, don't put it down prematurely. Let's go here. I'm gonna allow the handle to come off just a bit. Like that. Okay. Okay. Are we feeling it? I'm feeling it. Then I'm going to grab some cardstock to make a card base, and we're going to grab some more of the gold cardstock, and we're going to cut it slightly larger than our card front. We're going to do a little gold border on this, just a tiny. It's going to be beautiful. So that's 4. So we're going to go to 4 1/8. Let's get the good corner. Actually, this just is marred on the corner. So we're going to cut a piece off to get us a nice crisp corner. We're going to go to 4 plus a little. So 4 1/8-ish. Right? Is that what we said? 4? We went to 4 by 5 1/4. Excuse me. I have bubbles in my throat. And then 5 3/8, which is 5 1/4 plus 1/8. Okay. Let's see how we did here. For time's sake, I know I'm probably going to make a lot of you mad, but I'm not going to cut the center out of this because I just feel like we should be done. so all of you can go about your day, and all of you watching on replay can go about your day. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad. I know I can cut the center out, but I also want to respect your time. So I don't consider it wasteful. You know what? And I think I'm gonna go with the Tide Pool base. I think that's it. I think I'm feeling it. So as I'm finishing up, as I'm putting all of this together, I would love to know if you have any questions for me. Would love to answer those before we go. Next week, let's see, next week, I should be live on Friday, my normal time, I believe. I think Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific next week, we will be live. Who knows what we're going to be using? I have no clue yet, but I'll take requests. How's that? Someone's going to Bunko. Madge is going to Bunko. Have fun. That sounds like fun to me. And we're going to go just like that with that little bit of Tide Pool around the edge. It's going to be beautiful. And this is going to be a Mother's Day card for my mama. I don't think she's watching. Mom, are you watching? Text me if you are. I don't think you know how to comment on YouTube. So there we go. Beautiful. Enjoy your special day. And then we could put a few little sparkling clear sequins around if we want to. Beautiful card, beautiful. I'm glad you love it. I always have a good time making a shaker. I can't help it. It's got all the sparkles and all the dimension, and it just makes my heart happy. I think we should tuck some of these like into our flowers and around the edge. If you need to go, I totally get it. But we're gonna just take just a couple more minutes here, and we're gonna finish this off right. We're gonna add some sparkling clear confetti to bring this card to a close. So kind of tucked into the flowers and that sort of thing. Paulina says, I love how this card turned out. I'm so glad, Paulina. Thanks for being here. Just finishing up with the sparkles, because these really just grab the eye, and when they're tucked into an arrangement like this, I did this yesterday too. They grab the eye, they pull it into those florals, and you kind of like, you're like, oh, I just saw like something kind of sparkle there. And you kind of get a little interest going on. So we're just adding a few of these here. And then I think we are officially done. Beautiful card. Question, when adding the gold edges, how long do you wait for the glue to dry to the tackiness? Every time I try it, the deco foil, does not stick. You're referring to the technique that I use with foil and a glue pen. Here's the deal. If you're not using the right glue, it won't work. You have to use a glue that dries tacky. It cannot be like Barely Art or anything like that. And so the one that I found that works the best, Pink Paper and Things, for that technique is what's called Zig two-way glue pen. You can get them on Amazon. I think they're linked in the video where I shared that, but you can get them on Amazon, and those are perfect for that. So there we have our beautiful shaker card for my mama. She's not texting me, so I don't think she's watching. So this is for my mama for Mother's Day coming this weekend. I'll probably give this to her Friday night, because I don't know if I'll see her at church on Sunday, because she comes to late service and I go to both services normally, but I won't be at the late service this week. So anyway, you all didn't want to know that. Thank you all for being here. Honestly, you are what makes this just so much fun for me. I love it when you come and hang out in my craft room with me. I hope you feel like you're a part of the process every time. And most of all, I just hope that you walk away like feeling like you learned something and feeling inspired. So thank you all for being here. Be sure to stay tuned to my channel. I have lots more inspiration coming up, not only tomorrow, but throughout next week as well. And so you'll want to stick here because there's just, good stuff happening. Thanks for stopping by. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on the notifications here on my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my card making and paper crafting video tutorials. Thanks again, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.